Hi, this is Bexxie from Cosmic Academy, and today I'm going to be showing you how I process my bass sounds. I'm going to be using my track The Time as an example, which is a melodic tech house track, so let's jump in. Okay, so let's take a listen first to hear how this sounds. Here's my main bass. So I'm using Serum, which I'm using a couple oscillators here. One is the basic shapes in the triangle wave position. I brought the octaves down 2. And then oscillator B is a saw wave, just the default saw wave, brought down a couple octaves. And unison on both of these is 1, so it's just narrow, mono, straight down the middle, which is what I want for this sort of bass. And then on envelope 2, we have it routed to a filter, this low 24. We have it routed to the cutoff so that it just plays during the, if you hear it, let me show you. So it gives it like a punchier sound to it. Okay, so that's the bass patch. Now let's go into the processing. So I know that this bass was already in mono, but just as like a fail-safe, I have utility on and I have the bass mono button enabled. And so anything below 120 Hertz here is in mono. And then I've got the Vertigo VSM3 saturator plugin. And I have it to this preset called Second Wave Bass. Then after that, I have another saturation plugin, which is the black box. And I have it set to this aggro bass guitar. So it's really going to give it a little bit of an edge to it. And then after that, I'm boosting in around 138 Hertz. And then after that, I am cutting around 412. Well, not cutting, this is actually a high shelf. But yeah, I'm cutting around 411. And then I'm using the Shadow Hills compressor using the bass fingered preset. So just to show you the settings, what's going on here. So I actually increased the ratio to 4:1. I believe it was a 2:1 originally, just because the peaks, this bass is quite plucky sounding, so the peaks were a little bit loud, so I kind of wanted to bring the volume down a bit more when those peaks were playing. And then it's got somewhere in like the middle attack. It's not a super fast attack, but it's also not super slow, so somewhere in the middle, just to ensure that the transients are still coming through when the compressor turns on. And then same with the release. It's not super fast, but not too slow either. So that's the compressor. And then after that, I have sidechain compressing. So this is actually kind of the key to the sound here. So what I did was I actually have this low pass filter turned on. So basically, let me show you what it sounds like turned off. It kind of it removes a lot of the high end and makes it a little bit like a smoother, just subbier bass sound. So that was just super important to shaping the sound. And yes, you could just take out a little bit more low end, or sorry, a little bit more high end, you know, using an EQ or something like that. But as I was just messing around with LFO Tool, I was like, let me try that. I turned it on. I was like, I like that sound. Let's go with it. So that's how I process the main bass. So let me just turn everything off so you could hear everything bypassed first and see what it sounded like without any of the processing. It's like a very plucky sound. We're adding our saturation. Ooh, that really gives it a little oomph. compression, and then LFO tool. So just bear in mind when you are adding in saturation, boosting any EQs, you'll want to turn down volume to kind of compensate because it can increase overall volume. And that's the main bass sound. If you'd like to learn more, check out this video.